Do you ever get angry, mad, and how do you overcome?
Of course I do. I get mad when it's right to get mad. I mean, if I'm provoked into madness, of course I get angry. But the difference is that I let people know of my anger. I don't store it up so I'm going to end up becoming psychotic or killing somebody. If somebody does something to me that hurts, instead of moving away from them, I say, I'm sure they did not do that purposely, and I want them to know that it hurt me, so that if they need to say, I'm sorry that it hurt you, we can work it out. So I want communication to continue, and getting angry and moving away is no way to solve your problems. And so I confront people right away. I say, I can't, I'm tired, or I say, what you just said hurt me. And I let them explain to me why they would, because I'm convinced that people will not do that out of maliciousness. They must have had a reason. And maybe if I could understand the reason, then we could continue to communicate. You see, you don't have to agree with me to be loved by me. I just have to understand your behavior.
Do you recall any punishments in your life?
Oh, indeed. I was punished a lot. In fact, I have if that's what you mean, I have a broken tooth when Mama once said, "Te spacco la faccia," and I didn't believe her, and she proved it, you know. So I have a broken tooth to prove for her. It always amuses me when I talk about a loving, wonderful, caring household, that everybody thinks that Mama was a television mother. You know, that she was always soft-spoken and talked everything out, and Papa was a television father, you know, a Robert Young type who was kind and gentle and understanding all the time, and that all the children were able to solve their own problems. That's crazy. There was screaming in our home, there was yelling in our home, there was anger in our home, there was, people got smacked, people were crying. It was a real situation. The essence of it, though, was this marvelous undercurrent of which none of us doubted for a moment being present, that we were in a loving place, a place where people really cared about us, and that it was run not by supernatural people, but by people like you and me. And this is why, you see, I grew up learning that it was all right to be angry, it was all right to shout, it was all right to vent your feelings, provided that you truly let the other person know that you did these things in love, and that you were willing to admit your mistakes if you made them, but that it was a natural setting. It wasn't, it really is laughable when people say about my gorgeous one. People write me and say, oh, you were so lucky to grow up in this great, loving home where your mother was so sweet and kind. Mother could be pretty tough when she wanted to be, and Papa was, for sure.
How about weaknesses? Do you have any weaknesses?
Oh, yes. You know, I think one of the things that runs through all of my books and all of my lectures and everything I've ever done is that I am a human being. I am not a superhuman being. The same things that the same foibles, the same problems, the same things that bring tears to your eyes do so to me. And so I have no significant answers. I've just decided that I'm going to accept me as I am, as a growing human being that's striving to be better. But the essence is that, of course, I do stupid things. I forget. I inadvertently hurt people still, and then I must learn to be compassionate, and I must learn to apologize, and I do it very readily. I'm not perfect. I know that I will never be perfect, but the thing that I hope is that people will be understanding enough to forgive my imperfections, because I have never said that I was ever anything but a human being, and I'm happy that I am. I could not abide the fact of any kind of perfection in myself, because then people will have expectations. But see, the only thing that you can expect from me is that I will be a human being, and that's all I intend to be. That's all I've ever wanted to be. So that makes us 2 individuals, or 8 individuals, or 50 individuals in common. You see, if I were perfect, then you couldn't come to me as a human being. But knowing that I'm a human being, it's easy for you to relate with me. And that's the way I always wanted to be. And so I always admit to my mistakes and admit to my silliness and my craziness and the dumb things that I do, because I am a human being, and I celebrate that. I like being a vulnerable, imperfect, striving human person.